Hi everybody, welcome to the video today. Welcome to the signal box. Thank you very much for joining me today. If this is your first time here, welcome, and don't forget to check out the other videos I've got, and don't forget to hit the good old like and subscribe buttons. Anyway, we'll crack on with today's video. So I thought what I'd do today is have a little bit of a Great Eastern theme day today. Plenty of Stratford machines running on the layout as much as I can, and with different combinations of light engine, passenger working, short passenger workings and freight trains, and we'll just put some stuff on there that's Great Eastern themed, and I hope that you like it. So grab yourself a tea or coffee or beverage of your choice, and I'll see you in a mo with some trains. Okay, so on track number 2, it's a little bit noisy. I've got this Hornby 060 Ginty coming round. It's in the Somerset and Dorset Railway dark blue livery. So it's really sort of masquerading as a Great Eastern Railway tank engine. And it's got 2 clerestory coaches behind it of carmine and cream, or rhubarb and custard, whatever you want to call it, behind that. Speaking of which, Great Eastern tank engines, just a quick update before we get the next service underway. I have received an official update from Accurascale about my J67 buck jumpers, which have been on order since last summer. They assure me that I should start receiving those by March this year, so it's about 2 months away. So it's just a case of just getting them, and I'm sure that will be an excellent video as and when they arrive. I'll definitely enjoy running those, but in the meantime we've got this little chappy running around with these 2 coaches on track 2. So let's get the main service away on track number 1, and this is a Gresley K3, a Stratford engine. Very much weathered. It's a Bachmann model, and it's got a nice rake of those Hornby 1950s ex-Gresley bogies behind it, and here she comes. Typical London Liverpool Street service to Norwich. You would have seen one of these on there. And away she went, rumbling across the bridge and disappearing into the tunnel. So for reference material for my railway, some people might ask, where'd you get the ideas from, and you know, where'd you get the inspiration to build the model? Really, it's quite simple really. I draw a lot of my modelling ideas from real life experience, from when I actually worked on the full-size railway. Just little ideas and things I've seen and make a mental note of at the time, and just they come to memory, and I tend to put them into 3-dimensional ideas, and also from looking at loads and loads and loads of photographs and books in my reference library. And one of the books I've been looking at today, actually giving me food for thought and inspiration, is this book here, London's East End Steam, the Liverpool Street Suburban Lines, by D. Brennan. And it's got one of the contributors to this book is a chap called Dave Cockle, and I knew Dave Cockle when I used to work on the West Anglia Great Northern side of things, on the operations side. He was at Enfield Town as a train manager, I believe. But yeah, I remember Dave Cockle, and yeah, so it's a great book, and I get a lot of my inspiration and ideas from books like this, which is what you should do with a model. Any model railway that you are thinking of building or designing, just a quick tip. If it's your first ever layout you've built or are thinking about building, doesn't matter how old or young you are, if you're going to build it from inspiration, try and get some good reference books for the particular region that you are going to model. Now, a little idea that you can do, most people do what's called a heritage layout, where you can get to run modern stuff as well as the steam stuff. That's fine, it's your railway, you can do what you like. My railway is loosely based on the Great Eastern, somewhere up in the Cambridge part of the woods, hence a lot of my Great Eastern stock running around the layout now. But you can obviously do deep research and stuff on there. I know in my previous videos you might have seen a little bit of southern stuff creep in, actually because I felt like running it, but it's your railway. But ultimately, if you're going to build a model railway and you're going to base it loosely, and I use the word loosely, on a prototype, it is worthwhile getting some good reference material books to get some ideas and some bits and pieces. A lot of my weathering around the Loco sheds, if I just come in there with the camera, for example, like the ash pit roads with all the ash there and all the grime and grease and coal dust and muck you associate with the Loco yard, I really heavily relied on that book that I just showed you there, the pictures of Stratford shed and different Loco sub sheds. I've still got some ideas to put down here in the Loco shed, but I just wanted to get the general feel. If you look in that shot there where I've got my lamp on my shelf shining through onto the layout, but really it can sort of mimic sunlight, and it could be sunlight filtering through those glass panes at the top there, rather murky, very atmospheric look in the shed there with the sunlight coming through the window, revealing all the grime and the dampness and all the glory of the Loco shed there, empty at the moment, but we'll be busy later on. Okay, so we've given the little 060 Ginty a little bit of time on shed, simmering away there on the depot road, and we've replaced it with a proper Stratford engine that's coming round now on track number 2. This is a Great Eastern machine through and through, Stratford built. This is the J15 Loco tender engine coming round now. Loads of character this thing, look at it, absolutely a little cracker. And 65475, which is that number of that Loco going round there, that was the one that was built originally at Stratford, well they all were, but that one survived all the way until 1959. It ended up at Cambridge, but most of these were all scrapped by 1962. But the sad thing about it is, this is a true fact, and if you don't believe me you can go and look it up, but they once built a J15 at Stratford Works, and they had it from parts on the floor, nothing, to fully steamed and in order, just over 9 hours. One of these things, that's impressive. That gives a testament to Stratford's workforce, a dedication, and how things were made in those days. Nowadays, if you look at, for example, the P2 Loco that's just almost finished, even Tornado, when they started to build that and design it from the blueprint plans, that took years and years to do. But they knocked out one of these things in just over 9.5 hours. That's impressive. Good old Stratford. This one I've given a little bit of a custom finish when I actually got it. I painted the crank rods red as per Stratford practice. But she's good, look at that. We'll just catch this K3 coming down the main. Okay, so I thought I'd get something else out. So here is the Thompson L1, another fine looking Great Eastern tank engine. These were called, I believe they were called cement mixers, I think, cement mixers. I think that's because of the clanky sound they used to make. They weren't very popular with the crews. A little bit on the rough ride side. Sadly, none of these are in preservation. I've said it before in previous videos where I've run this, but it's a damn shame they don't actually preserve or had the heart to preserve one of these Thompson L1s. But they are a very, again, beefy looking tank engine, very nice looking things. And these were very, very common on the suburban services on the eastern region, specifically on my neck of the woods. Back in the day, they used to do the services to Stratford to North Woolwich. And on my example, I've correctly modelled the rear bunker disc codes for North Woolwich, which is on the back there as she goes past there. That's the disc codes for North Woolwich if it was running bunker first. So if that was running bunker first, that's what would be facing in direction of travel. And if we come down to my little control panel here, I'll flip my book over, and here we've got an L1 at North Woolwich Low Level in Stratford. This is taken in the 1950s. Beautiful picture on the back of the book, but yeah, there is a Thompson L1, as you can see with those disc codes. I think what I'll do, I'll put something behind that Thompson L1 because it looks a little bit alone. Light engine is good, but sometimes it needs to have something behind it to show it off its strength and its power. I think so anyway, but it's also nice to run an engine around in a railway. Light engine, just to look at it on its own. So my great uncle Percy, who was a fitter at Stratford 30A Shed, would most definitely have worked on those things in terms of maintenance, and knew how to take them apart and how to put them back together. A man who I'd love to have met, sadly. So just about to come out the tunnel now, through the station. Here comes that L1 with that rake of vans behind it. Just picked those up from Canning Town. Now onto the main line, down towards Harwich Docks. And away she went, look at that. And those last two vehicles on the end of this train here, that grey van and the one before it, those are fruit vans. And they look like the rest of the train, but there's a little bit of a difference with the fruit vans, is that in real life the fruit vans were able to be steam heated, so things like bananas could be kept at their nice temperature, so they wouldn't go off when they reached the market, and they'd keep nice and fresh. Yeah, steam heated vans, what a great idea. But that Thompson L1 is making very, very light work of that rake of relatively short van formations. And in real life, the L1s would have done works like this, no problem. They would have done freight works and trains like this, as well as passenger workings. But all over the local suburban services, you would have seen these L1s on these sort of duties. Again, I cannot wait for March when my buck jumpers arrive, and they'll just be the icing on the cake for my little Great Eastern fleet. But until then, that makes for quite a pleasant sight, doesn't it, running around the railway this afternoon. The little J15 doing its thing, and the Thompson L1 in charge of those vans. Okay, so the train we just saw going around there, that'll be described as a 3 pulls 1, pulls 1, a 3, 1 and a 1. So bell code would be answer back, and then it will be 3 and a 1. Is the line clear for a freight? And then it'd say line clear to home signal for your 3, 1 and 1. So okay, let's accept that. And once he clears that signal there, he clears the gantry. It is then out of my section, so it will be 2 and a 1, train out of section. Okay, what's our next train? Okay, express. Okay. Okay, just to confirm, the code, bell code is 4, and then 4 and a 3, line clear to home signal. Okay, it's 1961 and the K3 steam loco has failed somewhere along the route. They've sent Stratford a request for a light engine to come pick it up the service, and here it is. This is taken over the service to Shenfield. It's a brand spanking new Class 47 brushed diesel. Not long been at Stratford in 1961, and there it is, bosh. I know Hornby made quite a lot of Class 47 locos, but in my opinion, the Lima one beats them hands down in terms of performance and in looks as well. They really did a nice job when they brought these out originally. And the old faithful J15 trundling along, just doing its own thing. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to say goodbye, unfortunately, but not forever. I will be back soon in another video for you to watch. I do hope you enjoyed this one today, and if you did, don't forget to give it the old like and subscribe, and I'll definitely see you soon in the next video. Maybe next week or whenever we'll do an LMS day as opposed to a Great Eastern Day. We'll get some LMS things running. I've got to actually do a little bit of tidying up with my rolling stock boxes. They are in a bit of a dishevelled state. I plan on getting some sort of storage unit to make it nice and tidy, so it's not like a game of Jenga every time I want to get a loco out. But hey ho, Anyway, in the meantime, enough of that, and I'll see you soon in the next video on the signal box. All the best and take care.